Good evening. I'm here to present the project you asked me to work on for you at Frito-Lay, to go over why you have some attrition going on and what we can do to keep it from happening and maybe even predict it in the future. So what I did here is created a model, data model to actually predict attrition based on the data you gave me. Some of the big factors that we found is distance to travel, salary. I guess there's hourly employees versus maybe some executives that don't tend to leave as often, and stock options. Those are some of the big ones. There's quite a few factors as I dug into this, but those are some big ones. I did show some graphs here. Work-life balance, attrition meaning no is the pink, and yes is the blue. So work-life balance, as you can see, it's one of those things that's hit or miss. It's not necessarily clear, but I did want to point to it because I think a lot of people assume work-life balance is important. And it probably is, but I don't know that it is so much so in this data set. So commute is also a factor. As you can tell, it actually is a little bit more of a factor here on whether you want to keep an employee. There's not a whole lot you can do about a commute. The employee, kind of started there, maybe thought it was going to work out. Maybe traffic patterns changed. I don't know, but commute was a factor. To the attrition. Business travel seemed to be a factor as well. Traveling for business can seem glamorous, but over time does take its toll, and I think that is one of those things, unless the job absolutely requires it, maybe there's things we can do to work on that, but business travel is a factor. So I did pull up some more intricate data here, and I got some good box plots because you have to have box plot for data science, and found some good information here. Quite a bit of detail when it comes to the work-life balance. I kind of split out each one of them in their own coordinates that we kind of discussed before. And so what can we do to keep employees? We got to find a way to keep them. We can't move the building to wherever they live, so obviously business travel isn't something we can affect too much. We are where we are. Maybe work at home days, those are hit or miss, but maybe maybe work at home day once a week, something like that. Also another factor that seemed to make employees happy was training. So maybe multiple training options per year, maybe even things that aren't necessarily job related, but maybe more just growth, just training in general, I think seemed to be a big one. Work-life balance, always, you got to take care of the kids some days, and you got to be flexible, and sometimes people's lives change and you need to change hours. Kind of need to understand that. And tenure was another one that I found in here that seemed like people that had lasted longer tend to kind of be happier. So obviously with tenure, the good thing there is that shows younger people who haven't been there as long that there is hope, that there is job security, and job security. So keeping and retaining people that have good tenure and also people that look to have a good future will help kind of breed a new generation to stay. In conclusion, maybe employee promotions to help drive a positive culture, working with everybody in other departments that are outside of your group. Do your best to enjoy job security. Outside factors can affect attrition that nothing you can do about, but do your best to ensure employees that their jobs are secure. And as I discussed, multiple training options. I feel like that was a big one when I was going through the data. Is training seemed to keep people happy, and focus on the tenured and key employees you feel have management potential, or just great employees that are worker bees, going to be around forever. And that's what I came up with. Thank you very much for your time.